curves. And if you look at the questions, I just show you what the questions look like in this slide. The questions on the slide are asking you to find the percentage of the shaded region when z is less than 1.39, when z is greater than negative 2.15, and when z is between negative 0.56 and 1.81. So what do I do first? You have to sketch them out. All right, so before you do anything else, you just have to say, well, what are they really talking about? Z less than 1.39. Well, here's my center, right? So 0 is always the mean in the standard normal curve, so we put the 0 there. 1.39 is, this is saying z-score of 1.39 is 1.39 standard deviations above that mean. So I'm going to put that value here to show myself where it is, and I'm going to indicate what less than is. So less than is asking me for this section. All right, when I have z greater than negative 2.15, again, 0 is in the center. So I'm going to put in negative 2.15. That's a standard deviation that's negative 2.15 away from the mean, so it's over here. I'm going to label that, and they're asking me greater than, so they're asking me for the area under the curve over here. When they're saying z is between these two values, it's saying z is greater than negative 0.56. So again, that is left of the mean, less than the mean, and they're asking me what's above that. And they're asking me for when z is less than 1.81. So this is going in this direction. So they're asking me for this area here. Now, we're using table A right now. You will be able to use your calculator very shortly. I'll show you how to do that, but I want you to understand what you're doing, which is why we're using table A. The biggest thing with table A to remember is it's giving you the probability always to the left or less than the z-score. That's what the table's giving you. So you have to understand that I'm getting this. And in this situation, that's good, right? It's telling us when we use the table, we're finding exactly what we're wanting. When we're given this information, well, the table's telling us over here, we need to find over here, so we need to remember that under this curve is always 1. The curve is representing 100%, and so if we're given this amount, 1 minus this amount is going to be this side. And then on the last one, well, this one, if I look up 1.81 on the table, it's going to give me all of this area, right? This area, and this area, because it's giving me left of the curve. And if I happen to subtract out what's left of this piece, right? If I subtract this out, then I'm going to have that. So the procedure is to find this bigger area under the curve and subtract out this smaller area of the curve. So we're going to see how we can do that. Let's switch over to table A and just make sure we understand what table A is saying. This is the z-score. It's the number of standard deviations to the tenths. Then you add in the hundredths. So this would be negative 3.4, negative 3.400. This would be negative 3.41, negative 3.42, and so forth. And in the inside, remember, this is telling us the percentage to the left of that value. So now we can start to look. What was the one we were doing first here? We were doing less than 1.39. So on table A, 1, right, this was a positive value. 1.3 is here, and then I got to go to the 9. So small for our eyes, but 1.39 is going to be 0.9177. So 91.77% is underneath it, and we can see that gets us the right answer. The next one was asking us to find greater than negative 2.15. So on the table, I do go to negative, my memory is so bad, negative 2.15, negative 2.1 and 5. So that's going to be here. So we have 0.0158. That's to the left. So I'm going to have to subtract 1 from that. I have a calculator here. So 1 minus 0.0158 gives us 0.9842. Yay, 0.9842. That's the right percentage. All right, we said on this last one, our procedure was we wanted to find the left of 0.181, and then we want to find the left of negative 0.56, and we want to subtract those two values. So 1.81, 1.81 is there, is 0.964. Wait a second, I think 1 is one column over. Sorry, there we go. 1. So 1.81 is 0.9649. And then I need to find now the left of negative 0.56. So negative 0.56 is there. So minus 0.2877 gives me 0.6772. And that gives me the right answer. So always start with a sketch. If you try to do these without looking at this picture, the whole thing becomes very, very confusing. Sketch it out, make a plan, and then go over to table A.